All right, welcome everybody to Stock Analysis Friday. Today is June 28th, 2024. Good to have you here. All right, so markets are doing pretty well this morning, up across the board, and we're going to take a look at a variety of different stocks. I do want to take a look at Bitcoin. It's kind of in a critical area, and we could get a bounce or we might not. So I want to see what the charts look like. Go ahead and type in your stocks and caps. We look at stocks and ETFs here. So type those in and do about three at a time there. And that way we kind of keep the flow going. You know what I'm saying? All right. So let me go full screen here and jump right into some administrational items I cover before we get going. All right. First thing to talk about are the risks involved in trading. Like I always say, without that risk, there is no opportunity. So the two really do go hand in hand, but you need to be aware of the risks. We want you to understand how to control your risk as best as possible. You can't totally eliminate it, but we do control our trade risk by calculating our trade size and doing all those formulas to keep us keep our losing trades as small as possible. And I got a couple books on that. I'll share those with you in a minute. I'll put some links at the bottom for those. Also, to run any of my suggestions here past your financial advisor or whoever is managing your money, because you want to make sure these trades are suitable for you, and I don't know your personal situation. All right, past performance doesn't make future performance a guarantee. There are no guarantees in the market, and we always deal in a realm of probabilities. And always fund your trading account with money you can afford to risk. All right, a couple books on money management in front of you here, I think, which would be real good. Again, I'll put a link below. You can go to our website. We have an Amazon page. You can order it there. Also, too, The Art of Trading, 2nd edition, which is my newest book coming out this year. Looks like it's going to be about 500 pages. Depending on the layout, it could be even a little bit more. But you can pre-order that. It's due to ship this year, and they don't bill you until it ships anyway. But basically, I did a brain dump in that book. So, you know, I've been doing this, for 30 years now. So it's a brain dump on what I think is important in trading the markets. So if that interests you, you may want to certainly check that out. And I have a book from McGraw-Hill on the Elliott Wave Technique Simplified as well. All right, software we're going to be using today is the Ultimate Trading System, which comprises of the ART, AL, PTF, TLM, ERI indicators. We do have scanners. We won't be using those today because you're going to be giving me stocks today. And of course, at the bottom is our risk control software. One final note too, if you lose audio or lose video for whatever reason, let me know in the comments. Because sometimes, you know, when you have little problems like that, I'm the last one to know. You know, I keep talking and nobody can hear me. So unless somebody lets me know, please chime in there. All right, now, one more thing I'd like to recommend to a lot of people out there, and this goes along with the lines of risk control. So if you're interested in day trading the market, for example, we had two great day trades early this morning. NASDAQ was up almost like 80 to 100 points. So we were able to take advantage of that before this room opened. And what a great day. That was a great start to. And then after the room closes today, we'll go back to it. But we had two really good, successful trades, one a long-term trend trade and the other one a scalp trade. And I do it all through the Apex prop funding account. And it's a great way to do it because, and if you don't have any money, this is also a great way to do it, okay? You can get an account, and basically it's what they call an evaluation account. They give you free data, and you can practice with it. It's only futures, so it's only for day trading. They close out your positions and reset your account at the end of the day, so you can't hold anything overnight. But if you're interested in day trading, I highly recommend it. You don't have to get a lot of accounts, but once you get good at it, then you can have like 20 accounts and copy the trades to all 20 accounts and take out some serious money like these guys did down here. So I'm going to put a link up here for you. And we have a special discount code. Okay, the link is in the chat area now. Use that discount code because it saves you quite a bit of money. Okay. All right. Now, also give us a like today. Take a moment just right now to do that. And now let's jump in. Go ahead and type in your stocks, Stu. I see a couple from you up there. All right, so I'm going to go over Bitcoin here, and I've got three charts. Let me just go over the layout real quick. So I got the scanners up here. This is what looks like a Christmas tree up here. We're not going to be using that. Then I have the three charts down here. I got the 60-minute chart. All right, this is our short-term aspect. All right, I got the daily chart here. This gives me an intermediate outlook. I got our weekly chart here. This gives us a long-term outlook. And then I have all our software loaded on each chart. And our software consists of pattern recognition fractal triangles here, along with arc reversals, pivot points, which are great to use for scalping. We have the optimum wave locator, which is, we kind of use these as a checklist at the bottom before taking a trade and exiting. So that's the software. If you want to learn more about it, I'm not going to go into the details of it now, but if you want to learn more about it, you can go to our website. We have good videos. And again, I'll put a link down below. All right, Bitcoin, let's talk. All right, so Bitcoin, I put the 200-day moving average up here on the daily chart, and notice we came right down to it. Unfortunately, we now have this indicator, which is the PTF indicator, which I think is a freaking great indicator. It's 75% accuracy here. And basically what it's calling for is more lows before this pullback is over. So I think Bitcoin is in a bull market. I think we're seeing a pullback in the bull market. And I think now we're going to head down to this fib retracement level right here for wave 4. So for all you Elliott wave people out there, we got wave 3, 4. Then after 4, we get another wave up called 5. And there are 5 waves in the trend, and that ends it. So we were hoping, you know, we came down here, we put a bottom in, and, you know, maybe this could still hold, but the probabilities now is that it won't. All right, so we were hoping this was a 4 because we had a ABC kind of setting up there. So it looks like now that it's not, okay, it's probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A wave, ABC, B wave, and now this is a more broad base rather than a quick ABC correction. Could even go into a complex correction. So I've got red PTFs on the 60-minute, which is over here on the left. I've got it here. All right, so basically that PTF has a 75% accuracy rate. So basically it's calling for more lows on this bottom that just occurred. So if we take that out, we're going below 58,000 and we're at 60,806, which would put it, the target starts at 55,271. So I would imagine we'll go into that target. Not sure how deep we'll go. We'll see. We've got a little bit of a resistance support area here. Okay, so we may go quite a bit down. We also have one here. All right, where we have a little consolidation before. You can draw a line across. And so you can do it that way. We do that a lot in day trading the markets as well for possible support areas. All right, so that's kind of my take on it short term. Now, if we look at the chart long term over here, green, green. Okay, so we're just in a pullback. I mean, we're in a normal profit taking pullback that appears not to be over. Okay, so we're still pulling back before we go ahead and make new highs. So once we get a bottom in here somewhere in this zone here, then we'll go ahead and redraw the fibs and see where the next wave 5 should end. So I'm going to let you guys decide if you own any coin, what you're going to do with it. You're going to hold it, or you're going to hold it and accumulate more here. Or you're going to sell it, buy back here. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just kind of giving you the overall analysis on it. All right. So that's kind of where we're at now. All right, Jim, good morning to you as well. Good to have you here. Good day scalping the NASDAQ this morning, Jim. So that was a good one. All right, so let's see what we got here. Let's start with LNG. So Stuart, let me put you up here. All right, so we got LNG. All right, so you're long LNG. All right, and up it's going. All right, so again, no reason to get out. I would not go into this if I was a new trader here. So if you're in it, that's fine. You're getting kind of toppy here on the weekly chart. Yeah, you may make one more break, but you know what we saw? You know, in the you got a double top here. So it's very possible we could come up and roll over too. So I think it's a little late to get in. I mean, you know, it's still moving up. It's still breaking out. I don't see it any of the uptrend yet stalling, but take my word for it. It will at some point. So it'll be interesting to see if it stalls out before we get up here. So I don't want to, influence you too much because we're still coming up on it. But I imagine before we get to that red line, and what is that, about 100 and what, 83, 84. I imagine we'll get a significant pullback at that point, and then we'll take a look at it again. We still have a green PTF on the 60-minute chart, so I don't think we've come to the pullback point yet. But again, I think it's risky for new people to go into this, but you can certainly hold it. And I don't know when you got in it. I don't know how long, if it's a scalper trade. You can scalp these things on it. You want to hold a position overnight for a few days on the 60-minute chart. Okay, so I don't know exactly what your intentions are, but I imagine you're a long-termer on this. And so I would just hold it until you get another pyramid forming, and then, ratchet your stop up. So that's kind of how I would play that. All right, Tesla. All right, good old Tesla. All right, so Tesla is breaking above its 200-day moving average, for those that are into that. I added that because people are saying, well, how's it doing on the 200-day moving average? I really don't use it that much, but I put it on there for everybody that does. All right, well, we got green PTFs on the weekly chart. So, we had a pullback. We came into this target area. I think we've got a bottom on Tesla here. If you look on the weekly chart, it actually was a bottom that occurred in 2023. So I don't think that is going to get taken out. We may have a second bottom recently in 2024, which would be, I guess, this bottom here. All right, so that's looking like now maybe that could be the pullback area. And let's see how far forward we go. So I see no reason to get out of this one. You're long on this one. If we go below this bottom here, we got trouble. But for right now, I don't think you want your stop any lower than right here on the weekly chart. So you want to give yourself enough breathing room. So that low here for long-term positions, which I think you are, all right, is 138.79. All right, that's 70 freaking points. So that's, or 60 anyway. But so that's a long way away. But you could get a little pullback here if that's too far and you want to use the daily chart in the center for your stop. You can use that point right there, which has a low of 167.41. All right, so I'll kind of leave that up to you where you want to do it, but I see no reason to get out of it. All right, the ideal situation is you're not getting in near the top around 400. If we're up above 350 and the thing hadn't pulled back yet, I said don't get in. This is exactly why I say for people, don't chase the market, right? Because if you get in here, you're not going to be happy these days. If you get in here, all right, you got options, okay? So definitely keep that in mind. All right, PAGS, because a lot of times I won't recommend a stock, even though long-term it probably is going to be pretty good. It's because short-term we may not be done or have gone through a profit-taking correction yet. All right, let's see what you got here. Okay, you're watching this one. All right, so green PTF on the 60. We have no red PTF. All right, we kind of have like a little cup forming here. If you look here on the daily chart, okay, you got a little cup there. A little cup with a little handle right there, okay? You've got a bottom here on the weekly chart that's held twice. That's a good sign. So I'm thinking maybe a pullback in a longer term bull trend, but we got red here, red here. I kind of would like this owl, which measures momentum, and I'll mark it right here. I'd like for that to turn green. And anything, because technically, you got a, what do you got? Low 1, low 2, so high 1. Come on, Ben, get with it. All right, 0, you got low 1, low 2. So, and now you have a lower 2. So you got kind of a downtrend in place. So I would not jump into this until we see a little bit more of a turnaround, okay? So definitely take a look at that. All right. The other one I think people want to look at is USO. Let's take a look at that here. All right, so USO, all right, I love this one because look at the pennant on the weekly chart on the right. Those are kind of fun to draw. So the pennant is over here, okay? And we're kind of bouncing around in this pennant. I like to be long on this. I think we have a major bottom, but we got in a lot earlier. My target on this is around 100 to 124. Actually, it's 99.34 up to 124.91. All right, give or take a couple of points due to accuracy of drawing the fib extension, right? So that's kind of my target on it. All right, and if you want to wait for it to bounce to the upside out of that pennant, you're probably going to wait for around a price of what, 84, I guess, right around there, 83 and a half, 84. So you can certainly wait for that. You can wait for the next small pullback and see if this bottom holds here. So you don't necessarily have to rush into this one if you're not already in. Again, look at the 60-minute chart. How big a move. Do you think it's good to get in here or try to time it and get in better here? I'd kind of wait for the retracement and then maybe get in here. So I'm thinking maybe you could do a little better on that, okay? So maybe around 75-ish. All right, we're at 79. Okay, so let's see what happens with that. So that is that one. All right. And let's see, WDAY for Stuart here. All right, let's see what we got cooking here. All right, so you're watching this one, I assume, for a long trade. I don't think you're a shorter. So no, not yet. Okay, red PTF on the daily chart would keep me out of a long position. All right, let's take a look at team, TEAM on team. All right, so we got some green turnaround here. We had a nice retracement, so we're not getting in. Once again, you don't want to get in here. All right, wait for the retracement. We got it. Couple things to think about on this retracement that's a little unusual. First of all, there's not a heck of a lot of history. In terms of stocks, this goes back to about 2016, right? So we've almost gone, we went all the way up close to what, 500, 480? Let's see where that high was. Yeah, 450, I guess, okay? Nope, 483. All right, and we've come down way past a normal fib 4, wave 4 retracement. So that would be here. And we went into this area here. So that's not a 4, okay? Maybe a 1, maybe a 2. And if it's a 2, it still could come down some more, but this is bullish, so I'm liking that. So you want to be a little careful on the entry here. And we got a little bit of red going close here. So let's look at this next week. Let's put this on a watch list, Stu, for next week, okay? And come back to that, because what I'd like to see here, and I'm going to enlarge this weekly chart just a little bit so you guys can see it there at home. All right, what I'd like to see here is a pullback, bottom holds, and then a resurgence so we have higher highs and higher lows. And then pull the trigger here, and that's going to get you in plenty of time if this trend is going to be significant, okay? So I would hold off, but put it on a watch list. All right, and then DDOG, our next one here. Let's take a look at that bad boy. Okay, so you had a pyramid here. That's a good sign. I don't see any red anywhere. We've already had a decent pullback early in the uptrend. So here it is here. Let me just highlight it. So usually when you get a first leg up, there's your pullback. See, you had it. That other one, you haven't had that yet, that I just showed you, that other one on team. So that's what I want to wait for. All right, then you had a resurgence. So you have higher highs and higher lows and consolidation. So now you're going sideways. You've got, let's see, any green PTFs. You have it only on the 60, so a little bit more higher up on this run here. All right, now, all right, let's see where this is going, okay? Not a lot of history, 220. Hard to know, all right? Let's do the retracements here. Okay, you went below the retracement. Okay, that makes it more difficult to figure out what's going on with it. So I kind of think you can find better. All right, I'm not crazy about it. Unless you want to trade the 60-minute chart, but it's too late. Okay, so that one I wouldn't even put on a watch list. All right, thank you. All right, Frank, how are you, Frank? Okay, let's see, what are you doing here? Are you on 7.4, long at 7.04? Is this a day trade? What is this? You mean today? Or 7.4 from last year? What is that? Let me know what you mean by that. I'm not sure exactly. $7.04. Okay, that's probably where you're long. Okay. When did you get in, though? I'd love to know when you got in. Okay. All right. So you're short with puts. Okay. So you're going against the long-term trend on this. Okay. Just so you know. So you're using the 60-minute chart, right? All right. So, PTF is red. The problem is that does not mean it's going to go down there right away without a pullback. All right. You'll get, the problem is it could go here before it goes there, and that would be correct. Okay. So you can have a red PTF during a profit taking correction because the trend down is not over, even though it may be moving up to its retracement zone. So this short trade, probably I would not have taken. Maybe have taken back here. All right. But if I was, this is a risky area to go into, even at this area, simply because 704, you did not get, it must have been 740, Frank. I think 740 you got in. It says 704. All right. So I'm not sure. I mean, 704 would be way down here. So I assume you're out already on that if that was the case. Anyway, if it's not and you got in, as long as you used risk control on your option purchase, then okay, a long at 704. Okay, I'm sorry, long. I got the short and the long screwed up there. Okay, so you're long at 704. Okay, thanks. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at the short with the put. Okay, that's IWM though. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, okay, so you're good. You got a red PTF. Okay, I'd get out, at least with half. Chances are you could get a move up into here. So you hold half, take the profits on half, because also too, if you get a dive down one more time, all right, then that's probably going to, yank your profits out. All right. All right, and IWM, this is the one you're short on. Sorry about that. All right, so IWM, you're short with a put on this one. So you did good on the other one, Frank. All right, so IWM here, short, and I'm trying to figure out that. I guess maybe pulling back a little bit. I don't think I'd be short on this one. Nothing's blaring out to be short right now. It's messy, okay? So I'm not sure where you got short on this one, okay? So you're long GDRX and short this one. Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. All right. Alexander, good morning to you. And Al, how are you? TTD, let's check out TTD. All right, so are you long on these, I take it, or thinking of long? If you are thinking of a long, put long question mark or something. Then I'll know it's something you're thinking about. If you are already long, you can just do what Al did, type it long. All right, so I would have my stop at this pyramid right here, okay? Got a red PTF here as it's climbed on this last leg. So stop right here at a low of 94.65. So I know you have the art software, so just use that pyramid on the daily chart. All right, ET. Let's see what we've got cooking on ET here. All right, again, yeah, no reason not to be long. Use the pyramid here and stay long, okay? BTI, as I said and have been saying pretty much the entire year here, is I don't think the markets are quite ready to top this summer. I know a lot of people think so, unless something comes out of left field that causes it. I mean, we've gotten close enough to a major top in the Dow, but not so much in the NASDAQ and not so much in the S&P, but close enough that from a probability standpoint, if something came along this summer to cause a crash, you would look at the history of the chart and say, yeah, we were pretty close to a top. But from a technical standpoint, we technically had not reached the wave 5 target zone for a top in all the indexes. So I don't see us right now selling off until after that happens. And so that, Could be at the end of the year, could be early next year. We've got election coming up. All right, so the Fed may lower rates to keep the markets pumping along here for the election. I don't know, but in any case, I think so far the markets have remained pretty resilient and are still moving up. And until they hit that target zone, I think bullish trades are okay for now. All right. All right. So with that said, and if you want to learn more about my thinking on that, I do a webinar every Friday live here on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook on the market forecast. And I talk more about those tops. All right. Back to your situation here. BTI long. All right. No reason not to be long. Okay. We had a gap down. All right. But the pyramid is allowing for plenty of volatility. And we've got bullishness on the weekly charts. And we did go red here on that gap down. But, you know, as long as you have your stop here on the pyramid, I would hold it there. Okay. And that stop low is 30, what is that? 30.01. So $30. Put your stop there. All right, Alexander, good to see you. RDDT. Let's see. And you are long. Okay. All right, not much history on this bad boy. All right. Hard for me to get a good assessment on this. All right, so waiting for the 60-minute chart. Come on. All right, still waiting. All right, so you got a pyramid sitting here, Alexander, at the bottom here. And there it is, okay? So that low here is 53.11. If you're long, put your stop there. If not, or put it here even. So if it goes below this point, chances are it's going to take that pyramid out. So 54.44. But I'm not going to recommend it. Now you got a red PTF here. So all bets are off on that. So I don't know, if you're sitting with a profit now, you may want to just take it. Okay. Not enough history for me to give you a good analysis on that. All right, TXN, let's take a look at that one. TXN. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, so the 60-minute charts are loading here, slow, isn't it? All right, so green PTF, bullish weekly chart. For some reason, I'm not getting data on my 60-minute chart. Don't know why, but it's not showing up. All right, so red PTF. I don't know where you got in, okay, but it looks like we're going to have more higher highs. My only concern here is we could be setting up for a little bit of a retracement before returning. So either, you know, we got a red, only 2 bars on the red owl. So possible target on a pullback is 188 to 177. Still a strong movement on the weekly chart with a strong owl. But that red PTF, red owl concerns me a little bit on the daily. So, I mean, you're going to make more highs on this from a probability standpoint. I just am not sure if the correction, profit-taking correction is over on that. Okay. So if you can hold it through this correction here, use this pyramid way down here, fine, but that's giving up a lot. All right. So maybe put a stop under this area here, because if we take out this low here, that's at 191.80. So 191, I don't know, 0.79, 0.78 for your stop. If we take that out, then the chances of going deeper into this target zone or going into this target zone is high. Okay. So maybe I would play it that way. All right, Meta. Let's check out Meta here. Let me just cruise over here. Hold on 1 second. I don't know why this isn't loading here. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Loading before. It all of a sudden stopped loading here. Okay. Interesting. So let's see what we got cooking here. All right, so it seems like it's affecting all the charts. They're having problems with the server over there. Okay, so This you're long on too, and no reason not to be. All right, had a little pullback here, and now we're moving up. And what I would do on this, we're getting close to a top, okay? Not quite there yet, possibly. All right, probably another high maybe. So it'll be interesting to see when it gets close to its top here, what it does, okay? A lot of times we get awful close and then we go into a correction. So I would probably have my stop at this pyramid right here, okay? Especially if you're sitting on profits, okay? So 496.76. I am not a big one for getting in late at trends. So hopefully you got in earlier and you're sitting on profits, because I would never take this trade unless it was based off a very short time frame, like the 60-minute or below, when we're this near a top, okay? Just food for thought on that. All right, Frank's telling us he was in that trade for 2 or 3 weeks. Good, okay. All right, let's see what else we got cooking here. Okay, wow. Ooh, could be a short one today. Nothing else? I'll go back to day trading if we're going to have a short session today, which is fine with me, but I just want to make sure I take care of everybody and take a look at their stocks. So I'll wait a minute here before we do anything. All right, here's all my copy trades from today on the NASDAQ. Great big move up this morning. Now it looks like it's come down to retest a level. So I think probably we could start to see another move back up at some point. So anyway, we'll catch that after the session here today. All right, let's see what else we got here. Alexander is back with KKR. KKR, let's see what we're doing here. All right, so you are long here. No reason not to be long. Don't know exactly when you got in. Pyramid stop, closest one is here, okay? And that gives the market enough time to breathe. Kind of late in the trend. We're seeing a little bearish divergence building here. We're still in 3 here, but with divergence. So this stop, let's see the difference. All right, so this stop here on the weekly chart is 96.43. This one is 96.11, so 10. So interesting. Usually the stops on the weekly charts are give you a little more room. So yeah, so just use that and stay with it, okay? Again, I don't know when you got in. If you got in recently, you no longer have a PTF that's green over here. So you want to, you're getting toppy, okay? You're getting close to a top, so be careful there. All right, AMD. When I'm saying toppy, it doesn't mean it's going to the trend is over. It's just going to go into a profit-taking trend, and as a position trader, that's going to stop you out. All right, so AMD. All right, so we pulled into the target zone on the weekly chart, so that's a good thing. All right, we have not gone red yet. Now, in order for this to be target zone, to be a real 4, this has got to go red. So right now, this is a minor 4 inside of 3. So if this pops up and made a new high, and we had this owl never go red, but instead pop up, then this 3 would move over and be over here. All right, but you know, it's too early to know if that's going to happen. We've got red here. Again, my 60-minute chart is just terrible over here. All right, you know what we're going to do? Let's just do this. Let's wipe this. Oh, we just got it. Okay, all I had to do was threaten it, see? All right, so now we got it. All right, so what we got here is a situation where we could get, we might have a bottom right here. Okay, very possible. Keep an eye on that PTF, on that owl here. But we got a pyramid here, so just put your stop at the bottom of the pyramid. All right, that's 148.78. That's a major fractal. So even though you have other little fractals in here, because fractals take 5 price bars to form, and there's clean ones and there's unclean ones, okay? But these are fractal tops and bottoms. So let's see. So I guess I would stay with this, with my stop on the pyramid, okay, for AMD. All right, CRWD. And then you know, eventually we're looking at highs on AMD above 230. So just got to make sure the correction's over. All right, this one has moved up again since we looked at it last week. So the power of wave 3 keeps on continuing. And there we have it. So like a pretty extensive wave 3 owl on the weekly chart. So whenever I see that long of an owl, it's a big trend, right? We've also got a number of pyramids in a row, but it's mature. You know, the probability starts shifting against you when the trend becomes mature, and that's an indication of it becoming mature. Another indication is the fact that the PTF has turned yellow here, right? Okay, so that's an indication of some steam coming out of the trend. So you got to be a little careful here. I guess could certainly, you know, could go higher. I'm not saying we're at the top yet. We did have a little gap here, and gaps form in the beginning of trends, the middle of trends, and the end of trends. And since we have some bearish divergence here, we have to be careful this isn't forming at the end of the trend, right? So where would my stop be here? Well, if we get a little more highs, we're going to have a new pyramid here, and that'll give you an ideal place for your stop. All right. Until then, I'd keep it here. And when this one forms, I'd move it up. Okay. So I'd stay long. I would not enter. None of these are entries right now. Okay. All right. Let's move to Stu here. Stu is watching snow. I don't think we're going to get any of that until the winter. Stu. All right. So let's see what we got on snow here. Looking for a long. All right. We had a retracement on we looked at this a while ago on a previous situation. All right. So now what we want to do, I'm going to draw let's put a bottom line here in red. Okay, so that's got to hold or else we're going to go down and make a new bottom, right? So we're kind of been messy. I wouldn't enter this right now. All right, let's take a look at it again, but by no means has it proven itself that it is worth a buy right now. Okay, so stay away from that one. All right, TLT. Now, TLT is the ETF for bonds. Okay, looking to go long. Is there enough room to the upside? I think there is, Frank. Okay, now my concern on this one longer term is a red PTF, right? So here we have that. We have some bullishness. We have a green here. All right. I'd like to see this owl here go green, but this is a really good entry point in terms of risk to reward right here. So I'm liking that. So this is green, this is green, this is not. So we're pulling back a little bit. I would hold off right now if you're in it already. You know, I told you what to put your stop at the bottom, and you can put it right here now. The target's 110 to 127, so there is some room. But we got a bearish price bar here, we got a bearish move here. Let's see how far that goes down, and take a look at it if it starts to turn around. All right, so I wouldn't jump in right now on that. Okay, for those of you that got in long on this on our recommendation earlier, stay long. Okay, but it's just pulling back for new people. Let's put that on the watch list so we look at it next week. Okay, TLT. All right, and it's your job to bring it up next week if you want to look at it. All right, SFIX. All right, Stu, not sure if you're long on this one, but I assume you're either looking for a long or you are long. Yeah, so if you're long on this, you got a nice pyramid here. You have had a little bit of a pullback. Here's your gap, maybe gap at the beginning of the trend. Remember, beginning, middle, end, if you see them. They don't always form, but if you see them, that's usually the case. We've got green here. So yeah, let's put this on a buy list. This is good for now, okay? SFIX, liking it. Good job, all right? And the reason I like it, and we've got a green pyramid. We've got I don't see any red anywhere anymore. We're breaking off a bottom. So it's an early entry. Love that. And, you know, if you're willing to hold this long enough, this is quite a big deal because it's at $4. Could go to 27 to 43. All right. My only concern is sometimes they fill these gaps. So, but I think we got a strong enough owl in the 1 minute that I don't think it's going to do that this time. All right. So, yeah, I think it's okay. If you want to lower your trade size and put your stop under it on the top of this price bar, so it allows for partial filling of the gap, you can, or you can use the pyramid for a higher trade size. Okay, so just kind of be a little careful on that. All right, I'm just hopefully I'm not getting you in near a short-term top. So you got to give this baby some room to pull back. I think this pyramid's a little risky here. Okay, so just be a little careful on that. But from the signal standpoint, looks pretty good. All right, Alexander is back. Little Google. All right. So many people, are in Google right now. It's been a great stock, of course, to be in. It's the tech stock, the usual stuff. So it's making a high now, but it's also creating a brand new higher owl. That's the highest owl on the weekly chart. So that means something, and that means it's still in wave 3, not 5. Okay, so that's a big deal. You have to have bearish divergence between 3 and 5. And even though this looks like a 3, this is once again come up and the owl's higher. So this is all still now in 3 right now. All right, maybe this is a 1, maybe this is a 2, and now we're going to keep going. So I see a lot more room to the upside on this. However, you knowing me, I'm concerned the fact that it has been trending nothing but up now for 5 months, and it's late, okay, to get in. So I'm not going to recommend it. I put your stop right here, okay. If you're a short-term trader, position trader, your stop should be at 174.09. If you're a long-term trader, your stop can be low, and hopefully you got in at the beginning of the trend, so this is not a big deal, at 130.65. If you're new, do not enter it, okay? Let's take a look at MRVL. MRVL. Okay, green PTF, red good. Green PTF on all the time frames, lower time frames, that is. Weekly time frames, okay, we're climbing off the bottom. I like that. All right, no reason not to stay long. I put your stop right on this pyramid here, which is at 63.33. Again, I'm not going to recommend this to new folks right now. All right, CARG. Part of trading, the biggest part is being disciplined not to get sucked into marginal trades, okay? That's the biggest mistake to make, and an easy one to make, especially if you're day trading. You want to go into the A+ trades. Forget the B trades, because those are where your losses are most likely going to be. And you're not going to win every A+ trade. That's the other point. So you want to save your capital for those A+ trades. All right, so you're long on this one. Why don't you use the pyramid on a little bearish divergence here? Let me just see where this pyramid here is on the weekly. So that's 23.04. I'd use that for my stop. Okay, 23.04. All right, that'll keep you in the trend if it goes up more, but it also could correct. Okay. Cool. All right, let's take a look. Let's see what else we got here. How about silver? We haven't looked at. Did we look at silver? I can't remember. We looked at silver. Let me see. I think that was the one with the pennant. Yeah, we haven't looked at that today. But again, silver, pretty good. I think it's retracing back to this target zone here. It's not done yet. We got a red PTF. So this is, again, classic situation. Still in a bull market. I'm bullish on silver right now. I had to wait for it to pop out of here. It did. But now it's profit taking, okay? Kind of like what we're seeing in Bitcoin. And so after this ends, then it should resume its uptrend. We've got a very strong wave 3 and a green PTF on the daily chart, red PTF on the 60-minute chart. So we're still pulling back a little bit, okay? So keep that in mind. All right, let's see what we got. Alexandra, MARA. What's interesting is we're not coming up with a lot here. Okay, we only got one possibility, SFIX, which shows me that the market is kind of maybe toppy a little bit here, and we could get a pullback. So let's see what we got here. MARA. All right. Well, let's do a couple fun things here with this. You got kind of a wedge here, right? Trendline wedge. So I'm not going to draw a pennant quite yet on that chart. Maybe this would be a better chart to do that with. Something like that, maybe. And then something like that. So, and you can see it on the 60-minute chart. Look how volatile and compressed it is getting. So I think if it breaks out of that particular wedge or pennant, actually, it could be good. I would wait, if it breaks out of that, I would wait for some follow through with a green owl on the daily chart. So I'm not going to recommend this yet. I know we've got the pyramids all saying yes, but let's see a breakout and see some more confirmation, okay? Such a volatile stock that if you can wait for that breakout, I think you'll see it start to trend better, okay? That's kind of my thoughts on that. DJT. All right, so let me just redistribute these. We get a nice clean chart over here. Okay, so double bottom. Okay, we're hoping that it would stop here. It did not. It went and formed a double bottom. So let's remove that. Okay, for right now. All right, so yeah, not quite done yet. Looks like it's going to take out this low. So where would I want to do the new fibs would be, let's draw them from here. Whoops, sorry. Let's draw them from here to here. And now we're in that fib structure there, okay? So we're in the target for the pullback, and it should head back down. So no buy on that, okay? All right, GS, take a look at that one. Of course, that's Goldman Sachs. All right, so let's see. Okay, all right, that is not a major wave 3. Okay, so the owl's saying wave 3. That's a 3 inside of 5 because this owl is much bigger. So if you click the extended wave search, this would be a 3. So 3, 4, 5. 5's not over yet. Okay, green PTF, green PTF. You're getting close, right? Very close. So be careful on this one. All right, how close? Let's see if we can do a fib. Okay, so that retraced nicely. Okay, that's the first thing I'll have to check. And then an extension. All right, we're starting to enter into the target. So I guess I wouldn't go long unless you wanted to play the PTFs. For example, you got another high coming, but you also got a red owl, so we may get a little bit of a pullback. And it's been going up, you know, for what, since October. So probably a short-term pullback could be in the works before it returns and makes highs. Let me just see where that could be. All right, let's just do this. So it could pull back a little bit more, quite a bit more, 402, right? So I think, and then it should resurface and go higher. So be interesting to see if it doesn't pull back and makes one more top real quick, then we have to take note of that too, because that could be a serious stop as well. I think it's too late, okay, on that one. So I wouldn't do it. Again, if you're long, just keep your stops to a point where if it pulls back, you don't get crushed, okay? That's really the thing, okay? All right, let's take a look at coin. Okay, coin is is Coinbase, of course. All right, so you're stopped out, and no surprise, the cryptos are kind of like pulling back right now, right? We had a move down here. They're coming back down. Got a green PTF. This bottom here could still hold, okay? This definitely could hold, all right? This is green, this is green. So we don't have any red. We have red, I'd say, maybe not. We got a little red here, all right? I would not go into this right now, okay, unless you're trading an active trader trading a very short-term 60-minute time frame. But again, I expect coin to make eventually higher highs after all these cryptos go through their corrective phase, okay? So if you're stopped out, that's fine. All right, you can always get back in, but let's wait a little while and see if this thing is done correcting, because it certainly could go down. All right, Al, let's see, AMSC with a question mark. Good job, Al. Okay, so he's thinking about a long here. All right, so you're definitely pointed in the right direction. My only concern here is it's so far along. Now, if you're a more short-term trader here, I'm kind of looking at this here. Okay, you did not hit the high probability target zone. The only way I would take this trade, if I'm not already long here, is I would be looking at the 60-minute chart for timing to make this a quick, I would call this almost like a week-long trade or something, maybe, because it's a 60-minute time frame. So every price bar is an hour. So we've got the green here, no red here. I'm liking that. We missed the target, okay? ABC possibility, all right? We had one price bar down. We've got an inside price bar forming. So I guess what I would try to do with this is a couple things, okay? One is wait until next week, all right, and see how prices respond off today's inside price bar. If it breaks above, go ahead and take the long and put your stop at this bottom, or the pyramid bottom would be fine, okay? If you get stopped out, that means it's going deeper into the target. Wait for it to bottom in the target, which could just be another day or two, and then look for another long at a better price. So by going in based on that 2-bar reversal, the idea is at least you're going in to a long position based off price mechanics, okay? And the pyramid, of course. But you did not hit the high probability retracement zone. So I would get out if I got stopped out, and then not throw in the towel, but look for another reason to go long, maybe at a better price after we come back into the target zone. I don't think I would hang around on a short-term trade like this and wait, put my stop at $19 or something and wait. It's either going to pop or it's going to not. So if it doesn't continue on, if it breaks to the upside of a 2-bar reversal, you want to get out if you get stopped out. All right, but that's the I'm not going to recommend this one for everybody, because it's a little bit of a technical trade and not one that is kind of for the non-technical traders. Okay, that type of thing. All right, let's take a look here. We got Snap, SNAP, Snap. All right, on the snapper here. Let's see. All right, so first of all, green PTFs across the board. Love it. Long trade. Okay, that's interesting. So it retraced and then recovered. All right, so I'm liking that. A couple things you could do. All right, you've got a high sitting on the weekly chart at 17. Let me see if I get that right. 1724, 23, but 24. So you could wait for that to get broken before going long. You got a long trade already initiated on the daily, and you have one already initiated on the 60. So, technically you'd be long already, okay, off this bottom. You've got green here and green here. So technically you don't have to wait for the pyramid. But what happens is sometimes during these periods, you can get oscillation and ties your money up. So you don't get stopped out, and eventually the trend comes, but your money is kind of sitting there. But I'm liking this, okay? And I think I'm going to put this one down as a buy, all right? So this is Snap. Good job, all right? We got the pyramid. We got green. We've got here, we could have a little bit more of a correction, but I don't think it's going to be a major one. In other words, the 60-minute chart could come down to 16.20, a whopping 40 cents or 60 cents. So I'm not worried about that. I don't think I would use this pyramid quite yet. It's at 15.7. I guess I would put it under here, all right, for right now. And yeah, I'm kind of liking it. Let me just see where this pyramid is here. Now, if this is going to be a long-term trade, all right, you want your stop under this low here, not here, okay? So, because you're going to be holding it for quite some time. So when it breaches above here, you can put your stop here, but otherwise here, Okay, so that's kind of the way I would play that. But yeah, let's put that as buy. That's a good one. All right, Art, how are you? Looking for a long wave 5 entry. Okay, this is on IBM, Old Blue. All right, so we got green across the board. Well, shoot, we got a red PTF. All right, you got to wait. Okay, PTF here is red, so that's concerning me. Let's draw in some fibs and see possibly where this could be. 1, 2, except that one's lower, so that would have to be 1, 2, or we could start. All right, I'm going to draw a couple fibs in here. I'm going to draw a shorter term one in here. So that worked out good. And then a longer term one in here. All right. So it looks, what's keeping me out of this trade, Art, is the red PTF. I don't trade against it. Everything else, the structure looks pretty good. My only feeling of concern here is I don't really see a good ABC on the daily. This gap concerns me. Let's wait it out, okay? Let's make sure that it may go back into the target zone, and that's what the PTF is saying. So I'd hold off on that. But you're exactly right. Wave 5 entry is the way to go. The other thing that concerns me here is, you know, we've got still red here, and let me just draw in a fib over here and see if it coincides with the other fibs. We hit that one too, but all right. So I'm kind of, you know, you got the pyramid off there. The red PTF on the daily is the only thing that's keeping me from going long. So if this keeps moving up and that PTF abruptly turns green, then we're in wave 5, okay? And we have to have a green owl on the weekly chart too, okay? So we don't have that yet. So it's a little early. I'm hoping it'll go back down actually and give you a better chance to get in at a better price. And at that particular point, we can have a better idea that the correction's over and we're climbing out of it. And that'll give the owl at that point, once we start climbing out, a chance to go green even on the weekly. But I don't mind taking a long trade, even if the owl is a little red on the weekly, provided you know, all the requirements are looking pretty good on the other time frames. But the red PTF is keeping me out. Okay, sorry. All right, but bring it back. Okay, bring it back because it is close. All right. And this is what, you know, we're seeing this a lot in all the stocks. And again, I'm seeing more highs on these stocks. Now, that means to me the market has not topped yet, especially when you get a big blue chip like this. Okay, so I'm expecting the Dow to make higher highs before the big sell-off, which is probably coming at some point, right? But I don't think it's here yet. So just go with the trend, have your stops in place in case something happens, because we're in the toppy area. So you still have to be careful, but there's still, I think, some really good long trades to be made here. All right. All right. So we found 2 today. Anybody else have any more? I think we're good, right? Okay, good. All right, so let me just quickly go over the winners today, okay? So let me do that. We only got 2, okay? So we got SFIX, all right, and SNAP, SNAP. So those are the 2. Watch list, we got Team, TLT, and IBM. So those are the ones we'll look at next week for sure. Just whoever suggested those, you know, bring them back next week so we don't forget. All right, so have a great week, and I'll see you back here. I'll put some day trading time frames up, and then I'll go ahead Al's got a couple more here. Hold on, Amazon. Okay, AMZN. Let's take a look at that one real quick, and waiting for a pullback. Okay, not got one yet though, right? So don't get sucked into the market. We're also pretty close to a target here, so. Yeah, let's take a look at it after it pulls back a little bit. Don't go into that one, okay? All right, Art's got one more, not Art. Yeah, Art. We got one more HSY. Let's see what is that's all about. Quick peek. All right, let's take a quick peek on that bad boy. All right, so red PTF on the 60-minute chart. Here's our target. You know, we expected this to come down to, and it looks like it's not quite done bottoming. All right, according to this PTF, this is green, this is green, close. Bring it back next week, okay? But I think you got a little bit more time before we are ready for a long trade on that. But it's getting there, okay? Definitely getting there. All right, guys, thanks so much. So again, SFIX, Snap, those are the two. I will put a little music on. I'll put it on the, here, I'll put it over here. Let me get rid of some of these. Copy. Well, here, let's just do that. Well, let's see. Okay, well, boy, look at that. So the, right now we're very intertwined here. Very interesting, okay? So you kind of want to be careful in here. You can do some good scalping in here based off the candlesticks, but you got to be careful, okay? This is an area of accumulation distribution, and so you kind of want to wait for a breakout, especially if you're trend trading. Two great trends this morning here and here, right? Those are the big boys. So now we're going to be very interesting. Big up, big move. It's almost exactly where it opened today. So we'll see. Got a green PTF. I'm kind of biased to another move back up, so we'll see. All right, let me put some music on, and I will catch you next week. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, my pleasure. Okay, everybody, very, very welcome. Okay, thank you so much. And again, we'll be back next week. Give us a like. Take a minute and just do that. That helps the channel out. And you guys have a great week. Can you believe next week? Geez, could be what? Past July 4th, I think, right? Holy camoli. All right, let's see about that. It'll be the 5th of July. Unbelievable. All right. And you know what the next big holiday after July is? That's Labor Day, right? Kids back to school and summer coming to a close. Amazing. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. What I'll do is I'm going to, again, I'll just put the link up again if you're interested in taking advantage of the prop funding. If you know you're into, you got the time, you want to do some day trading or at least practice some of your trading, that's a great way to do it. And other than that, we'll see you back here next week, okay? Have a good one, everybody. Take care.